The black jacket.
I really need the new stand for this fucking camera.
No swagger, no design. Anxious thoughts stuck in your mind. The lost puppy set facing the crowd. Head kind of hurts.
You are wonky. Wonky donkey. Do you remember that?
Pretty girl with an ugly smirk. You convince yourself that it's one of my quirks again. Too high, puking shoes. Somehow
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. I don't know why I'm doing this, but you know, it's gonna be a thing. Okay, I just decided on a whim, no planning whatsoever, to just do a cheeky little vlog of books that came up on Scribd. Now I have a Scribd subscription thanks to the lovely Becca from the Becca Vowel. When you go on Scribd and you start adding things and liking things, it comes up with similar to what you've already read or similar to what you've saved, whatever. And I've just gone through and saved a few contemporaries based on that. And one that popped up was one that really intrigues me, but I'm also kind of worried. I haven't even told you what this vlog's about. I'm going to be just reading contemporaries recommended by Scribd based on what I've already read. So the first one that came up was Vampires, Hearts and Other Dead Things by Margie Fuston. I will find a cover and put it here. The audio is 9 hours and 38 minutes. I can double that speed up, so I should be able to finish it while I'm at work today. But I'm slightly concerned. I was going to initially recommend this to Rebecca? I don't call her Rebecca. I was initially going to recommend this to Becca, but because the top of it said the coldest, a debut YA novel that's the coldest girl in Coal Town meets They Both Die at the End. And I know Coldest Girl in Coal Town is a book that Becca loves. They Both Die at the End is the bit that made me a bit concerned, but also the fact that it mentions trigger warnings for her dad having terminal cancer. Now I know that that specific one isn't a trigger for Becca, but I do know that there's a specific trigger that Becca has, and I feel like I want to read this first before I go recommending it to her. But obviously I will also warn her about the triggers, and she'll probably watch this anyway, so Becca, you'll already know. But it's basically, it says Victoria and her dad have shared the love of the undead since the first vampire revealed his existence on live TV. Public fear soon drove the vampires back into hiding, yet Victoria and her father still dream about finding a vampire together. But when her dad is diagnosed with terminal cancer, it's clear that that's not going to happen. Instead, Victoria vows to find a vampire herself so that she can become one and then save her father. Armed with research, speculations and desperation, and helped by her estranged best friend Henry, Victoria travels to New Orleans in search of a miracle. There she meets Nicholas, a mysterious young man who might give her what she desires, but first he needs Victoria to prove she loves life enough to live forever. She agrees to complete a series of challenges, from scarf and sugar-drenched bayonets to singing with a jazz band, all to show that she has what it takes to be immortal. But truly living with her father while her father is dying feels like a betrayal. Victoria must figure out how to experience joy and grief at once, trusting all the while that Nicholas will hold up his end of the bargain, because the alternative is too impossible to imagine. So it says, in this equal parts heartbreaking and joyful debut YA novel. So I feel like it's not something, I don't think it has any romantic elements in it, but I'm very intrigued to find out what the deal is with this. So I'm going to head off and listen to this. If I come back at any point when my face is red and puffy, you know that I've been crying, and that's when you know it's a good book, when it evokes emotion from me. But yeah, I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to scroll through and find another one to read. I'm probably going to read 3 in this vlog, but we'll see. So I'll be back. Again, if you're a fan, or you didn't, I'm now halfway through this book. I can't remember the title, even though I literally just put my phone down. And there is the main focus is her trying to become a vampire because her father is dying. So if death of a parent, obviously death of a parent is triggering, but if sort of a lengthy conversation around death and cancer is something that you don't feel comfortable reading, this wouldn't be for you. It's not a light, funny, warm and cozy kind of romance, and it's more of a serious, it's got a serious undertone, but there's some kind of potential romance as well, and it's very much a case of her trying to find ways to enjoy life again, or these are the challenges that she's supposed to complete in order to feel like she's living again, but she's feeling guilty for enjoying anything while her father's dying. So it is something that is a big thing throughout the book. It's okay. I'm not fully invested in this potential romance. I'm more interested in her trying to come to terms with the fact that she can still enjoy life and her father would still want her to enjoy life when he's gone. That bit is the bit that I'm interested in, but the romance I can take or leave it, whatever. Henry is a character who is the love interest, potential love interest. He's okay as a character, but because we've not seen, it's all history that they're talking about between these two people, because I've not seen any sort of developing of feelings between them. It's not the kind of romance you immediately get behind. It's all sort of like telling you what happened in the past and that kind of thing. The characters, they're okay. It's feeling very 3-star-ish. It's not horrible. It's not something I would probably reread right now. That's just how I'm thinking halfway through. Things could change, but as it stands at the moment, it's just okay. But I am actually surprised that enjoy is the wrong word. I'm intrigued by might be the wrong word as well. I don't know. There's a word that I need to use that is sort of, I'm interested might be the word, in her development, because since her dad was diagnosed, her life has stopped. She stopped everything. She said that she stopped her drawing, she can't remember the last time she felt any spark of happiness, and she's put her life on hold since her father got sick. So I don't know. I think the vampire aspect of this is just probably a way of bringing people into the story, because vampires are the thing people like to read about. But the vampires in this, they don't attack humans. It's not that kind of thing. I don't know, the vampire thing, I'm not really sure it needed to have vampires in it. It could have just been a case of her dad sending her on this journey with a bucket list to fill in order to complete these challenges. Maybe it would have felt more believable, really, if it had been a father giving her this task to try and enjoy life a little bit more, knowing that he's not going to be here for much longer. That probably would have been a better way to deal with this situation. I think I don't necessarily think vampires make sense a whole bunch, but that's it. I am loving the Buffy references though, and Vampire Diaries references. There's Anne Rice references, Interview with a Vampire. The chapters, at the beginning of each chapter, there's a quote from either Buffy or Vampire Diaries or the originals or something like that that relates to the story. That was fun. But yeah, that's really the only my only comments right now. So I'm gonna go back to listening, eat my lunch, and then get back to work. She's really starting to annoy me now because I know that she's going through grief. I do. I really, really do. But this whole thing with the vampires, like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand it. Book 1 finished, and it's going to be a 3. It's going to be a 3. I do understand the moral of the story, but I just feel like there could have been a different way to tell the story other than including vampires. But also, on the other hand, I kind of liked the reminders of quotes from Buffy and Vampire Diaries and all that. Like, I did like that side of it as well. So, like I said, there is a lot of discussion around parental death and cancer, so please bear that in mind going into the book. But if that is not going to be a trigger for you, I mean, it might be something that you'd be interested in. I just personally think it wasn't for me. But the next one we're going to go to, we're going to try and find one that's a little bit different. I said a little bit different, and then I scrolled down, and one of the ones that I've saved is When Life Gives You Vampires. I don't want another vampire one, even if it is supposed to be funny. So we're gonna just come out of that, and then we're gonna have if we scroll down the list, we're gonna remove that in, and we're gonna look at more contemporary books. We do have P.S. I Hate You by Sophie Reynolds. We have So We Meet Again by Suzanne Park. Again, another Sophie Reynolds, Not in a Million Years. Love at First Spite. Ooh, should we try this one? Should we see what this is about? Falling in Love is the ultimate payback in this delightful, breezy rom-com about an interior designer who teams up with an enigmatic architect at her firm to get revenge on her ex the only way she knows how, by building a spite house next door, filled with sizzling chemistry and delicious revenge. I think I'm going to go for that one. I've had quite a serious contemporary with a sprinkle of romance. Now I feel like this might be a rocking good, comedic, fun, fine, funky, fresh and fabulous time. So I think that's going to be the way forward. So Love at First Bite by Anna E. Collins, narrated by Lila Winters. 4 hours on the audio on double speed. We're going to dive into that, and I will come back to you when I've got an update on said book. Okay, hello. We are back again with Love at First Bite. So, just to let you know, going in, if cheating is a trigger for you, this might not be the book for you. Okay, so I'm a couple of hours in. I think 15 chapters in, 14 chapters in. And I've got 3.5 hours left, just under, on 2 speed. I already told you what the book was about, didn't I? Did I read the synopsis to you? I think I did. But anyway, Danny is the main character. I really like her. She's a little bit clumsy. You can kind of see where this is going to go. Not going to lie. Because she's like the clumsy, sort of ditzy character that has obviously had the thing happen to her with her ex now, and she wants to build this home to spite him. She's calling it the Spite House. I don't particularly like the name, the Spite House. It seems a bit too on the nose for me. However, it is what it is. Wyatt is very much the grumpy protagonist, like the grumpy love interest, and it gives me kind of Grumpy Sunshine vibes in the weird way. And I wouldn't say enemies it wouldn't be enemies to lovers, but it would be what I believe would be a not even rivals, it's people who dislike each other, which I think is a miscommunication. Again, if you don't like the miscommunication trope, you might not like this, because I'm feeling very much like it's a miscommunication as to why they don't like each other, and then it's going to be like to friends to lovers situation. That's how I think it's going to go. But I wouldn't call them enemies, because enemies to me is like you want to kill each other, and they don't want to kill each other, they just dislike each other, which again I think is for for reasons that have been like as a result of miscommunication. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm gonna finish this and then have radio silence to get to after this, so I need to finish this today, and I will be back with you once I've finished. Hi friends, I forgot to update you when I finished this book. Was it Love at First Sight? I probably would give it a 4. It's definitely not a 5. It's not a new fave. But I did enjoy the story. Like I said, it was predictable. I knew where it was going to go. There was one thing that happened that I didn't expect to happen. There was a bit like, what the fuck? But in a good way. Can you say that's a good way? Something happens anyway that was a surprise that made a little bit more to the story, if that makes any sense. So that was good. Overall, it was better than Vampires, Deaths and Other Things, whatever it was called. So there's that. Today, we're going to move on to, I don't know how many books to do for this vlog. We'll go for one more, and then if the vlog isn't too long, I will add another one in. I'm just going for contemporaries at the moment. We're just going to scroll through all the fantasy ones that I've added, and the thriller, yes, thriller. So we've got Not in a Million Years by Sophie Renaud. Should we see what that's about? Chronically single Kate is winning at life. She's finally saved enough to live alone in her dream home. She has a great group of friends, and she has, at last, perfected the ultimate chocolate cake. So what if her love life is dead on arrival? When she finds out one of her oldest friends, Andy, is travelling abroad and needs her help, she decides to drop everything and fly out to him. Only problem is Daniel, the mutual friend she blames for Andy's wild lifestyle, is coming with her. It's the first holiday abroad she's been able to afford in years, and she has to spend it with him. As the days pass and more than one waiter mistakes her and Daniel for a honeymooning couple, Kate has to remind herself that there's a reason she stayed single all these years. But as she sips her dry martini and watches Daniel's toned body dive into the pool, she wonders if it's possible to have the perfect holiday with the man you hate. Or maybe Daniel isn't so bad after all. We'll come back to that one. The rom-com agenda. Beach Read meets Harry When Harry Met Sally. I've seen When Harry Met Sally. I haven't read Beach Read, but Meg loves Emily Henry books, and so does Andy. So you know how the story's supposed to go, but love makes its own plans. Eli thinks he and his girlfriend Victoria are meant to be together until she breaks up with him, leaving him heartbroken and confused. Determined to win her back, he goes along with the advice of his friends. Become the sophisticated yet vulnerable ideal man. How? Study the best romantic heroes from everyone's favourite rom-com movies. I love this. I'm not going to read any more than that. That just made me smile. So, yes. I'm going to read The Rom-Com Agenda by Jane Denker. That is up next. I will leave Who's My Watch It's here. And I will be coming back to you with updates once I've read. So. Right, we're just going to ignore we're ignoring the hair. We're ignoring this mess. If you hear a fan in the background, I'm sorry, it's warm. Oh, we're doing Rom-Com Agenda. I have finished it already. It was good. I think it's probably going to be a 4-star. I can't remember if I've updated you on this. What have I read so far? The Rom-Com Agenda, vampires, deaths and other things, and spite in Love at First Spite. Out of all three of them, I probably preferred the rom-com agenda more, I think. But again, trigger warnings, I don't know what it is with these contemporaries at the moment that I've decided to pick up, but cancer is mentioned as quite a bit, because at the beginning somebody passes from it, and it's also mentioned that, you know, later in the book that there's another character that has suffered with a type of cancer. So again, trigger warnings, please be careful going in to these books. You want to know specifically who it was that was diagnosed, that kind of thing, message me and I'll let you know, but I don't want to put anything else other than that out there. But obviously there are websites you can check these spoilers on, and because I'm just whizzing through them, there's like, because you like this, you might like this, or because you've read this, you might like this. So there's Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertalli, but I've not read any Becky Albertalli yet, and I feel like I need to speak to Becca and Chloe before I dive into Becky Albertalli to see where I start from, because I feel like there is a reading order that it needs to be in. So we're just gonna have a little bit of a swipey swipe, and I think I did save there's one called Stuck on Brew. I love it. I love this. Let me have a look at this one. Michaela Brewster seems to have it all together. Good friends, good health, and a booming beer business. But appearances could be deceiving. Kayla's small bar is failing, and her body isn't performing at its best. Still, she smiles through the pain. Oh, it might be disability rep in this. Keen Long is a mysterious painter who just so happens to be Kayla's biggest competitor, stepping in to run the successful bar right across the street. Oh my god, this gives me You've Got Mail vibes. This is giving me You've Got Mail vibes. I'm going, and it seems like there might be some disability reps, so we're in it, we're on it like a cab on it. This is Stuck on Brew by Wendy Dalrymple. Oh, Sharon's mentioned Wendy before. Narrated by Rachel Perry. So we're going to dive into this one because it sounds like You've Got Mail is one of those films that I just love to watch over and over again. Brinkley is just a standout character in that, and you to fight me on that. Fight me. I'm right. One thing I don't want this to do is be like a direct like copy of You've Got Mail, because Reading Between the Lines by Rachel something or other was kind of like a direct copy in so many ways. It was blatantly obvious that it took inspiration from You've Got Mail, and in fact it practically copied scenes. So I don't want it to be that. I just want it to have like You've Got Mail vibes, you know, rival companies, rivals to lovers, that kind of situation. Also, if you get some disability rep in there, hells yes. We're going to dive in now and I will let you know. I'm sorry I didn't update you on the previous one because I was just reading it and enjoying it, and I forgot. I will try and update you and remember to update you on this. I was going to say, first off, again, I need to sort this out, don't I? First off, it does that, do you know, where you've got like the narrator that's sort of, so do you know how like when the narrator says like, over in Wendy's house, she's thinking this and doing this, but see what happens, or something like that, do you know what I mean? I don't know what that situation is called, but he's just done that at the beginning of this book. I love it. I love it. It's really hard to explain. I'm really shit at explaining stuff, but you know what I mean. Hello, we are back, and I have read Stuck on Brew. I think that it's probably going to be 3.5. I think it was good. It was a lot shorter than I realised it was going to be. It only was like 3 hours on full speed, I think. It felt like a really, really short time. I finished off some stuff that I was doing on the computer, and then went to bed, and then it was on like chapter 16 or 17, and I don't know how many pages it has, but it was really, really short. But I did enjoy it. I just feel like everything happened so quickly, and we didn't really get much character depth. And as you know, I am all for the characters. It hinted at some addiction issues with one of the characters, Keen, but I would have liked to have gone into a bit more depth about that. It was a great start to a plot and a great end to a book, but the middle just needed extending, just filling out a bit more character development. They were immediately attracted to each other, which isn't a big deal for me. If you get immediate attraction, fine. It wasn't insta love, it was just insta like, oh my god, you're gorgeous sort of thing, which is fine. That happens. That seemed normal. But it just, I could have done with it being more. It would have got a 5-star probably, had they have just tweaked those little bits, like addressed Keen's problems a bit more, and like just fleshed out the middle bit, because Michaela was having trouble with her brewery, and it initially from the synopsis it gave me You've Got Mail vibes. One of my favourite films to like rewatch. It's so good, but it didn't end up being like that. Like, they knew where they were competitors, and it was, I don't know, the synopsis, I don't know, it was just a bit, I was expecting You've Got Mail, and I wanted the angst of You've Got Mail, but it wasn't that. So, I think this vlog's been okay. I need to remember to record all these books on Goodreads and on my spreadsheet, which I have not done yet. None of these were on my TBR for this month, but it is what it is. It was a random vlog, and it's only took a couple of hours of my time. But I do need to head off and read Aurora's End, and Risinger, and Vengeful, and Lost Book of the White. For read-alongs I'm actually partaking in / hosting, so I'm going to head off now, switch over to an audiobook of something I actually have to read, and I will see you all very soon. If you do like me and you want to see more of me, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you have any rom-com recommendations, anything that gives me like You've Got Mail vibes, or like angsty rivals to lovers situation, and then with roommates, fake dating, one bed trope, anything like that, leave them down below. And if you're here and you want to let me know you're here, you don't have anything much to say, please leave a black heart, I much appreciate it. See you.
Can someone tell me why every time I fall in